How's it going, Johan? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good. Right.
Cut out anything to do with laughing at City. That's all.
Well, yeah, I know. I got rid of the
We don't
Chelsea
want
background,
any of
so
that.
I'm on my best behaviour. Don't worry. Yeah, don't
Okay,
worry.
then. So we're back anyway with another episode of Chat Kit. It was a bit of a shame. You had a bit of a migraine, so I had
Yeah.
to postpone it a week for what we've got.
Mm.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be better for a Liverpool fan, can it? I'll just slide it in there now, get it done early. But United lost
uh,
Europa League, and then City lost the Champions League, and we finished third. We finished third. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
I know. It is bizarre, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. After this season, I think it's just made me fall in love with football even more, and it is good. Just love it. Mm. How are you
Well,
feeling?
I'm better. I've got over it. It took me a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, what we've never won it before, so it's not like I've had that taste of winning it before.
yeah,
So I think now just got to look back and just go. It can only get better now. We can only win
yeah,
it next time. We've got to the semi-finals. We've got to the final. Now we've got to win it next time, haven't
yeah,
we?
yeah, yeah. It'll be
But
coming.
it's coming. We've won. We're
Mm.
champions of England again.
Yeah,
Champions of Carabao Cup again.
yeah,
And we're just
yeah.
going to move on to next season. Um, this episode anyway, we're going to be looking at some kit archives again. So I enjoyed the last one we did. This time we've gone a bit different in none of our teams that we're going to be using. It's going to be the Arsenal kit. Well, the Arsenal season from 2003, 2004. Now, anyone that would probably remember this mainly is for the invincible season that it was.
Yeah.
To start off with, though, what's your views on the Arsenal season that season? I mean, just
It,
as in them three kits that they had.
oh, it starting with the kits. I mean, one of the arguably most classic Premier League kits is that home kit, um, the red and white top with the sort of rounded neck like I've got now at the minute on this shirt. It just
Yeah,
screams sort of that 90s style, but in the early 2000s. And you had this
yeah,
massive sponsor on the shirt, which even though it's massive, it works so well with the shirt. And
it's an
it's something,
absolute treat,
yeah,
isn't it?
it is just a classic shirt. And we've talked about this before. Players associated with those kits, Henri in those kits is just unreal, unreal. It's the same with the away kit as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just unreal kit, unreal.
exactly what I thought. And when I was playing on FIFA back in the day, obviously, I always remember it straight away from that era of players that they had in that the likes of Henri, Vieira, Bergkamp, Keown, all
Yeah,
players that were um, key for them to go on to win the league like they did, and it
yeah,
was sort of mentality that the team had at the time, especially,
yeah.
and the kits were such a good design, so simple as well. And I think
Mm.
that at the time, obviously, they used the kits like 2 years in a row, and obviously, I think that the fan you get your money's worth of the shirt as well
Yeah,
because 2 years you get them and you can keep it. You don't need to fork
keep
out
going.
70
Yeah,
quid a year, like. And when you remember it, it feels like that they were on for so long, even though it was 2 years. It's still a long time to have the same kit, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
but especially then that big O2 sponsor, I think
I
is
know.
just a classic sponsor, like
Yeah,
Sharp, Candy, like Siemens
well,
for
yeah,
Chelsea. You just remember
yeah,
it for
your
the
Carlsberg,
team that they had.
Samsung. Yeah, it's just it is quality, and sort of bringing it back to that away kit as well. That's another iconic kit. It's being bright yellow with a blue sort of collar
Yeah,
and accent. It's just it's a colorway that shouldn't work.
yeah,
And it's sort of like rugby. It's sort of like a rugby style kit in the sense of the colors that clash in that way, but it's so
yeah,
good, and if it's still simplistic, that it works really well. And as we were saying, with those players playing in the shirts, just unreal, unreal.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And obviously, you've had a few choice words to say about the third kit. The away shirt from the previous season. Obviously, it is a bit of a mad pattern that it's just right through the middle. I mean, it's a real Marmite kit, isn't it? You either like it or you really don't like it.
That's the exact way I'd describe it.
It's a really it's a real out there kit, and I think that it'll always go down as one of them kits that you just remember because of the pattern that's on it. It's a bit of a different design than you would usually see, but from Arsenal's previous kits, like they've never been one to hold back with an out there pattern, i.e. the bruised banana. We've had that one from the season just gone. This was no different, really.
Yeah, I mean, it is a Marmite kit, and for me, I think I was put off by the sort of the light, the pattern in the middle, which sort of, it's not all one color. It's sort of like it's like different shades of that lighter blue, and it's got lines going across it, hasn't it? And for me, it was just, I don't know, it was a bit of an eyesore for me, but I can see why people do like it. I can see why it can be a collectible kit to certain people, but yeah, for me, it's just, you had those beautiful home and away kit that year. Just like, make another beautiful kit that everyone likes. Yeah,
but,
that was good though.
Obviously, without talking about the great players, obviously, the players obviously did make that team, and obviously the kits, they were just there to look good more than anything. But when you're going in and seeing the way they performed in the league, when they say invincibles, I mean, they did draw a heck of a lot of games. But to go unbeaten for a whole season, it's just nobody's ever done it since, and it's going to take a lot to do it again.
Yeah, well, I had a look through, and looking through the season, they didn't have many majorly outstanding games. There weren't many like 8-0s or 9-0s or anything. They only really had like 2 big score lines, and this was against Leeds, who Leeds at the time, was that around the time they got to the Champions League final, wasn't it, or semis? Around that time, wasn't it? And Leeds were actually a force back then. Around this time, and they beat Leeds 5-0 and then 4-1. So, you talk about a team that got a lot of draws, but they still put away clinically. They put away teams clinically at the same time, and they were a dominant force, and it just proves how well Arsene Wenger managed them at the time.
Well, I think when you've got someone of the stature of Thierry Henry up front, I think he's one of the greatest strikers that's ever played in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's going to be always a debate between him, probably Aguero, Rooney as well. They're always going to be up there. Players who've been there for
Shearer, Kane.
Yeah, players who've been there for such a long time, have performed at such a level. But this season, especially, Henry finished second in the Ballon d'Or, just behind Nedved. So this was the quality he was performing at. And I had a look at some of his stats. What did he get in the end? So in 51 appearances, he got 39 goals, but in the Prem, it was 30 goals and 6 assists. So it's just absolutely
disgusting, isn't it?
It is, and it does make you think not many players get to reach 30 goals in a single season, and especially in the Prem, being, as it said, is the hardest league in the world. But it's just, he was absolutely on fire that year. And interestingly, I don't know if you know it, but they actually brought in Fabregas and Van Persie that year. They came in, which was just shows you that Arsene Wenger was building, always thinking about the future, and probably should have stayed at the club a bit longer, to be honest, and they wouldn't maybe not be where they are now.
I think a lot of the time you look at Henry and think, like, he gives so much to the team. It wasn't just that he could like finish in the box or it's a tap in here or there. I would say every goal that he scored, he could either run with the ball at defence, he could take him on, then he can pass and he can move, and he'll score from outside the box. Like after his header, he'd score from any part of the pitch. Yeah. And that's what made him so clinical. Like nobody knew where he'd come from. And when you think about why he's so regarded as one of the greatest strikers, because he could just literally do everything. He was so skillful. And I think that it really went to show when he was playing against the big teams, the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Chelseas, and he'd play in the derbies and Spurs, and he'd play against West Ham, and he'd score in them massive occasions. I mean, they didn't play as well in the cups, but just to think about the sort of imprint that they left on the league that season, that's why the kits are remembered so much, because of how well they played.
It does sum it up, that it's very iconic that season, and associating it with those kits and those players, it was just an amazing thing. But yeah, you touch on those cups. Some of those cups were quite shocking, to be honest. You want to talk about the UCL? They went out to Chelsea, local rivals, in the quarters. But that UCL was eventually won.
Massive Champions League prediction of 3 points, getting the 1-0 result right.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I got right was City, and I never got the scoreline right. But congratulations. We move on to next year when we have a full fixture list out of it.
Oh, excuses coming out already. Next year's our year.
But I mean, going on from this though, with no predictions, we might go into the Euros and have a few predictions on that. But what we're going to end it on is a very basic award ceremony, which none of the people that are in this awards list will care about. But we do. So there's a few nominations that we've gone for. So the first, I'll tell you the awards that are up there. So the first one we've got is Moment of the Year. The next one we've got Player of the Year. We've got Surprise Team of the Year, Manager of the Year, Kits of the Year as well. While it is chat kit, it's only right that we do it. Now, starting off with Moment of the Year, start off with something good. What would you say is your Moment of the Year, Rowan?
Oh, I'm not starting it off good, mate. I'm starting it off bad. I think this is the start of the season, and Villa absolutely pumping Liverpool 7-2. I think this was the very start of the season, and this was a moment which I think signified that the season wasn't going to be a normal year. We'd just been stricken with COVID. Players played a lot of games towards the end of it. Didn't get a full pre-season. Questionable transfers, and then you're coming in and you've got Villa, who shouldn't be in the Prem, pumping the former champions 7-2, and it did just settle down as this isn't going to be a normal year. And as we've seen as the season's gone on, it's not. We've seen twists and turns. We've seen, Liverpool were 8th place 10 games ago. We're now finished 3rd, and I think that kicked off what happened throughout the year, and it was a moment of the year, if you'd like to say, but not really a good one for Liverpool fans.
I thought you were going to go for Van Dijk's injury, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had a funny feeling about that, but I've gone a slightly different one, and I've put it in just because I remember watching it a few weeks ago, and I thought I've gone for Leicester winning the FA Cup. Now, the reason I put this in is because the celebrations after it, and seeing the chairman, when only, was it 2-3 years ago when his dad died?
Yeah.
And seeing his celebrations with the players like Wes Morgan, Schmeichel, Vardy, and seeing how they sort of celebrated that, and you could just see the passion from him. And I think the club, the way it's run, it was just nice to see how much they loved that. Just the FA Cup, for Leicester to go to a team that now obviously won the Champions League and turn him over, and that goal that Tielemans scored was just an absolute beauty as well.
Yeah, it was quite a nice storyline for Leicester there, really.
And watching Chilwell running off, kissing his badge to celebrate, and then getting it disallowed.
I know.
That was just brilliant to go from getting sold by Leicester to kiss the badge against Leicester, and they get it disallowed.
Yeah.
That teaches him that, won't it?
I know. It was a good moment for Leicester, and it could have been a bad moment for Chelsea, but obviously they went on to do their thing. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So moving on to which one do you want to do next? Do you want to pick out one next?
I think we should leave Player of the Year to last.
Yeah, I was thinking
that'd be a good one. Yeah. So maybe we should do the surprise team then. I think that might, transition quite nicely there. So my surprise team was West Ham.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any explanation needed for West Ham to be finishing anywhere near the top 4 is an amazing achievement for that West Ham squad. Some of the players that were still playing in that team are ridiculous. The likes of Souček, Koufal, Mark Noble still playing in the Premier League, challenging for Champions League football with that West Ham squad is just it is quite frightening that they were running up for the Champions League. But yeah, they really did surprise me. I didn't think they'd run it down to the last 2 or 3 games. Kind of felt like they'd drop off, but again, you can't fault that West Ham squad for doing anything wrong this season. They were absolutely superb.
Yeah. So I was another one gonna go for West Ham, but I ended up going for Villa.
Yeah.
Just for the open fact that they were so bad last year. Like I thought that they'd just go down this year, and I thought it was inevitable. I thought that they weren't really offering anything to make me think that they're going to change. And I think that this year, I know they only had Grealish really, but all the other players just seemed to work out. And I think that they did surprise me with some of the results that they got throughout the season, which I wasn't expecting them to get. I think that at some games that I was going into watching them, I'm thinking it's going to end now, this luck that they've got, and they seem to just turn over more and more teams. I think even right down to the last day of the season against Chelsea, like they could have gone up to that knowing they weren't going down, they weren't going to get any Europe, and just to turn over to Chelsea, and they didn't. That's all. They went and did them.
Yeah. That's another team again. The likes of, say even your Saints could even be thrown in there. Teams that you would not think have performed. They've performed at world class levels, and then other levels have looked like they should be relegated. They don't belong in this.
Yeah.
And I suppose that is quite a definition of a surprise team right there. You don't know what you're going to get, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Villa. And just think that what they did struggle when Grealish when he was injured, but like majority of the time they just ran, and I think when you're in a scrap the season before and you didn't look like you were playing for each other, to then this season like leave everything out there, it was just nice to see for Villa.
Yeah. So what do you want to choose next?
So we'll leave manager of the year for just before player of the year then. So we'll go on to the kits of this year.
Okay.
So the home kit that I've gone for at the start of the season, when I did my original video on I think it was one of the first videos that I did, was each kit ranking Premier League's best kit. I did Brighton's. Now Brighton's home kit this season, I think, is just so nice. I love the fact that the white isn't too thick, the stripes. And I think that theme that they've got, where it's like that gold on it as well, I think it just looks really smart. And I think that when you've seen like the players in it, like it just stands out. And I think it's one of the best home kits. It is the best home kit from the Premier League this season.
Yeah, I was torn myself between that and this kit, so I went with Saints home kit. Now I told you the other day how much I like this kit. It is just a fantastic kit, and it's sort of a retro design in the way that it is just a plain red shirt with a white sash across it, and it just looks so simple, but it's so effective, and especially when the players are wearing it with a long sleeve, it just looks absolutely amazing. And that's the reason why I went with it, was purely because it's such a simplistic shirt that they've smashed the design of, and that long shirt look, which
Yeah,
we don't see anymore. Not many teams are producing long shirts kits anymore. It's always the red. It's always like a kit with a thermal underneath. And to actually have a shirt with long sleeves now and pull it off so well, I think was really good. So that's why I chose it as my home kit of the year.
definitely. So the away kit, I've gone for the Leeds away shirt, which is
Yeah,
the green and black or green and blue, whichever one it is.
yeah,
The striped shirt. I'm a sucker for stripes, as pretty much anyone that watches this channel will know exactly how it is. I think that it's a really nice shirt. If it wasn't Leeds, I probably would have bought it, but I'm not having any of that in the house.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think that they did such a good design of it, and it's undoubtedly the best away shirt in the league this season. I think that the only reason I didn't think it was that much at the start of the season, as it's come on, I've seen players wearing it, made me think I like it a bit more. And when
yeah,
I've seen it out, I've seen it in the shops and things, I've liked it even more.
yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I went with another Adidas kit, and another Adidas kit that was worn by Leicester, and this was the stunning sort of purple away kit that they had with the sort of white
Yeah,
accents, and they had the sponsor in white, and they even turned the badge in white. And
yeah,
I think that to me sold it. And I think what sold it to me was um, quite might be another sore moment for you was the Leicester City game earlier on
oh
this
yeah,
season. Maddison scored that absolute screamer,
yeah,
wearing that kit, and I remember seeing that kit, and I was just like, "Have they turned the fox white?" And it was just unreal that Adidas had allowed
yeah,
them to, design the kit in that way. Strays away from the usual Adidas templates, if you like. And yeah, I think Adidas did
yeah,
absolutely smash it this year with some of the kit designs.
yeah,
Mm.
definitely. I think that some of them just look so smart this year. I think
Yeah,
they've done such a good job.
yeah. It was very difficult to choose kits this year. Very difficult.
Yeah, third shirt that I've gone for has broke the mold, and I don't like to just do this, but City's third shirt this year, I absolutely loved it from the time that I seen it get released.
Yeah,
Um, I love paisley patterns in clothes anyway. I'll wear them as many times as I want, but this shirt was just my idea of heaven, and to see us wear it quite a lot as well, I was
yeah,
so happy. I think we wore it more than our away shirt. I'm sure
yeah.
we have. It's just such a nice design, the white and the coloured pattern on it. Oh, I think it's one of my favourite shirts that we've released in so long.
Yeah, it was very different. Again, I think I said at the start, like when we did our top five best City kits and Liverpool kits, I just left it out because for me, I think it'd be better as a club polo or something like that. But my third kit
Yeah,
was the West Ham third kit. Now it is quite basic. It's
yeah,
just it is black and gold, but you can't go wrong with that. And again, Umbro bringing it back, Umbro coming back. When's the last time you seen a side wearing Umbro shirts in the Premier League and playing
yeah,
beautiful, playing really good football? It doesn't happen anymore. Umbro are
yeah.
just the kind of a forgotten kit maker now, if you'd like to say. This was just a great kit that they designed, and it's very simple. We've seen black and gold kits in other teams in Europe. Bayern have just released one. Barca had one. Ajax always do one.
I like
Um,
that Barcelona one.
yeah, yeah, I know that's what I mean. It is very nice, but then I looked at this West Ham one and I was like, they've made it even more simplistic. It's literally just like three bits of gold on it, and they've changed the collar up, but it just works so well as a whole package. And that's why I ended up going with it.
It's a
Mm,
six great kits right there. I
yeah,
mean, even if we was to pick one of them, I think it'd be a difficult call
yeah,
for which one we'd go with. But I'm glad that that's not a decision that we've got to make.
yeah,
Yeah, so the biggest two awards of the season for our end of season awards, which
yeah.
I'm sure we'll take into next year, and I'll have a
Mm.
bit more preparation for because I let everyone down. So we'll start off with manager of the year. Who have you gone for?
Again, bit of a West Ham theme here. I've gone for David Moyes. Absolute smashed it this year managing that West Ham side. I could have gone with Rodgers, but I think it just let him down on that final day. The last few games, bottling top four again. We've seen it in his repertoire before. He has bottled up, a few things. Don't want to bring up too much, but we'll move on from there. But yeah, David Moyes. I know.
Whoa.
David Moyes.
You slipped that one in yourself.
Yeah, that was good. Right. So yeah, David Moyes was. I think he's returned to the Prem. Returned to the Prem, and he's proven that he's still up there with the best managers in the Prem. And he is one of the best Prem managers. He'd done it at Everton for a long time. I don't think he was given the right support at United, and he's coming to this West Ham side. He's been given money to spend. He's got the support from the board, from fans, and look what he's doing. He's absolutely smashed it. I don't think he can knock him down any pegs at all. Yeah.
Well, funny you should say David Moyes, because I've also gone for David Moyes. I think that considering when he got rehired, he was like, everyone was like, why is he going back there?
Yeah.
He just left. He's going back. He's just going to do the same as what he did. And I think that he was doing so well all season. He had such a solid team. And then when he added Jesse Lingard in January, I think that the team just went from like there to like there. And I think that I would, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, Jesse Lingard was going to be one of the best players in the Prem, managed by David Moyes, I would have gone, yeah, sure, on your bike.
Yeah, I know.
I think that what he's done to that team to change it the way it has, I think he's done an unbelievable job. And I think we're running out of superlatives to describe the way he's had this season. But it's one of the times we've both agreed on that. And I think it's a well-deserved award for Moyes.
Yeah, definitely. So now the big one.
Now, the biggest one of the year. It's Player of the Year. Now, who have you gone for this season?
I mean, I think there's only two players that were in the mix-up for this. I think that's going to be Harry Kane and Ruben Diaz. I don't think anyone else has been close to their levels this season. We've had Fernandes was good for 2/3 of the season, but he dropped off massively towards the end of the year.
Can't play against the big teams.
Yeah, he does go missing in the big games, and that is something you need. You've got players like Salah, again, got 22 goals, but he was vital to Liverpool's season, but I don't think he was the best player in the Premier this year. And apart from that, Heung-min Son, again, another player who died off. So yeah, for me, it's going to be Kane or Diaz. So I've got a way to work out to get them both in. So you just give Diaz, the young player, the one, and you give Kane the full one, and then you both get them on player this season.
Oh.
So this is how you do it, right? But yeah, the reason I've gone for Kane edging it a bit is because from the first game, Kane was on fire. And I think that it's a bit detrimental to Diaz in the fact that he's coming from a foreign league. But I think Kane this year, he's put up record number of goals, record number of assists, and it is just unreal. We talk about most goal involvements in this season, and Kane was pushing that. And he's been doing it in a Spurs side that are very subpar. They struggle to create chances, struggle to get goals, concede a lot of goals. And I think he has just been outstanding. Nothing to take away from Diaz. He has been an amazing player, but I do think he has benefited a bit from being in that City squad. And maybe sort of some of the things that Liverpool players got last year where you had sort of Gomez playing next to Van Dijk, or you're in a team that isn't struggling, it's very easy to look really good, I'd say. If that's not taken away from it, but it might make him look a bit better in my eyes. But I've gone with, that's the only reason I've gone with Kane, is just because he's been in that Spurs side, and since the first game, he's been unbelievable.
I understand that, and I think that Harry Kane's been one of the best players that well, you look at the players in the Premier League up front. I mean, he's been the out and out striker that's just performed every week, and you cannot argue with it. I think that considering how many games he plays each and every season, and to still go and get that many goals, it just shows the sort of striker that he is.
Yeah.
I went for Ruben Diaz just for the fact that I think that coming in at 23 and absolutely bossing it, I was a bit nervous we might have another Mangala on our hands with someone that's from a not so good league. I mean, Portugal's not a league like the Premier League or Liga, Serie A. I wouldn't ever have counted my chickens with someone who's coming from Portugal after how bad Mangala was when we were giving him any praise before he come. And to think the way that he's just transformed our defence from something that was quite leaky and making John Stones look half decent. I mean, last season, if you'd have said John Stones would have been a star player, I would have gone, like, that's not going to happen. Again, in the likes of Lingard, I mean, but when you look at Diaz, I think that he's been just next level. He's just shown such a mature head for someone that, if you'd have said to me Laporte would be a second choice defender behind John Stones and Ruben Diaz, I would have gone, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And I think that, especially like considering he is only 23, and then just to come to a different country, not really know anything and play as well as he has done.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise that we've got to a Champions League final and got to a League Cup final and won it, and won the Premier League. Because when he come in, if you don't forget, like, we were 10th in the league at one point, 11th in the league.
Yeah.
And we went on a run and we didn't concede, and we were getting clean sheets and we were winning games, and we went on a massive win run. And just think that it's no surprise that we've got a new centre back in and we go and do that.
Yeah. It's it will be very close to the official one between. I think it will be between those two. There'll be no one else near them. I don't think anyone's been the levels they've been. They've been at ridiculous.
I think it's just constantly, both of them just non-stop. Like, the way that they've conducted themselves, it's on another level than any other players, really.
Yeah. Hopefully, Kane keeps that form going. Mainly for the Euros, and then after the Euros, if he goes to City, then we can break his leg for all I care. But winners the Euros, and then you can bugger off. Yeah,
it's going to be a mad one to see who's going to sign him, because it's so much politics involved with it, isn't there?
Yeah, I've loved Harry Kane for ages as a striker and as a player. I said when we played Tottenham in the Champions League final, that I would love to sign Harry Kane, and he would be the ideal partner up front for Salah and Mane. He's just got it all up front. He can play a ball, can play a pass. He's got the work rate, and he's just got that lethal finish. And if you put him into one of those City squads or Liverpool squad or
even United.
That's what I mean. Just somewhere where he's going to get those chances, and he doesn't have to be the main, source of the team. But yeah, hopefully City don't get him.
Well, that wraps up our season anyway. I think that it's been a great season. Obviously, I can't wait to look forward to the predictions next year and hopefully win it myself.
Yeah.
But we will try and get through some as well in the off season and do a few different bits. If there's anything that anybody has any ideas for in future videos, so you just drop them in the comments below and we can look to do them for you.
Yeah, any seasons.
Enjoy doing any kit archives that you want to do, any teams that you support. We're always looking out for some more things to be doing, but as we always look forward to it, hopefully we can do one of these in person one with all restrictions and getting a bit more gone anyway.
Yeah.
We'll look onto the Euros and it's coming home, innit?
Oh yeah, hopefully it'd be amazing if it does.
All right, well, I'll see you next time anyway, Owen, and hope everything goes all right for you.
Yes, you too, mate. See you in a bit. Chat.